Hello, it's day 151, and I want to talk about dietary duplicates. Ever since I was about 16 years old, I have been doing the cooking for my family. All of the cooking, all of the meal planning, and therefore all of the shopping. So I know grocery stores, you guys. And one thing that has really struck me just in the past couple months, something that I've just now noticed, is the sheer amount of diet food in the grocery store. The grocery store I go to has 2 full aisles specifically for diet food. And that's not even counting the diet foods that are like sprinkled in throughout all the other aisles, the diet bread, the diet crackers, the diet drink. And I'm not talking about healthy food. And I'm also not talking about things like gluten-free food that some people actually legitimately need. I'm talking about specifically things marketed for people who are dieting. And the biggest offender, in my opinion, is the diet entrees. You know what I mean. Those frozen squares that you pop in the microwave and they always come out a little cardboardy, a little gross, like wet, soggy. Man, I can't think of a single person in my life who would look at one of those and be like, delicious. We all kind of universally agree that they're disgusting, and yet they're still such a huge seller. They're so popular. I could probably go into the teacher's lounge right now and find 4 or 5 of those in the freezer. Intuitive eating has given me a lot of really great tools to use, but it's also given me a little bit of disconnect when it comes to things like that. Why eat a frozen piece of diet lasagna when I could just have a piece of normal lasagna? And there will be people out there who would tell me, you cannot possibly eat normal lasagna. The pasta, the meat, the sauce, oh my gosh, the cheese, so fattening, so bad for you. But, you look at the frozen brick of lasagna, like, yeah, it's 200 calories or whatever, but it's also about this big. Yeah, it's about that big, and it's disgusting. And also, I don't think they're all that good for you either. That's the thing about dietary duplicates, diet foods that are trying to be something they're not. The more hands that have to touch something, the more time it spends on a conveyor belt, the more weird chemicals that go into something, the worse I think something will make you feel. So when you're feeling a craving, why reach for something that's not going to satisfy it in a really satisfying way? I think it's just so you can tell yourself, I made the good choice in this moment. But is that actually the good choice in the long run? I don't think so. And I think the other reason is just for convenience sake. Yes, it's very easy to just buy one of these pre-made meals and throw it in the microwave. It requires less time, less thinking, less planning, less, personal hands-on time because somebody in a factory somewhere is doing it for you. But you know what the other secret is? The other unspoken thing that I think we all understand but we're not saying? I think we all understand that these things are marketed toward our egos and not so much toward our bodies or our taste. I'm suspicious of diet foods, and I say that as somebody who has really struggled with dieting in the past. Because if diet foods worked, if sticking to a program actually made you thin and healthy forever, wouldn't I be perfectly thin and healthy? I don't know. You could look at me and say, well, you're the exception. You're the one who couldn't stick to it. But let's be real. Would you be able to stick to it? For the next 30 years of your life, are you going to be like a 60, 70, 80-year-old woman still slamming lean cuisines because it's what you've always done? But if you're going to do that, there are other things you could eat, other better things. At the risk of sounding like a weird hippie, I don't want to support a company like Nestle who is packaging up things that are not good for me and selling them thinking I'm too dumb to realize it.